Say hey everyone, welcome into another edition of Say Hey Plays. My name is Jose Bouquett. Alongside me as he is every Friday, it's my guy Connor Mack. Connor, you had an eventful, I think it was a Monday, Tuesday, and a little Sunday action for you?
Yeah. It was I'm getting recovered. I've
Okay.
caught the proper sleep and
I'm glad you're
I'm ready
catching
to
up.
cash here on Friday. I'm ready to roll.
Yeah, I'm glad. Well, yeah, you were a part of the little steak dinner you guys had. Shout out to my guy Victor, who was also there, everyone there. First of all, I just have some questions, general questions. My first question is, how did it feel to have dinner with Luke Voigt, aka my guy Dom Ricci, and all these buttons? And I cannot wait to talk to him tomorrow. He's the guest on the show, but these buttons, how did you feel about that, Connor?
Yeah, Dom just OG rolling in with the shirt. By the way, oh he killed. He's such a great guy. I've recovered because they're still in town. I gotta hit him up. I want to join
Mm-hmm.
those guys. Ragu and them maybe tomorrow, even tonight. Shit, I don't know. I'm gonna hit him up, but he's gonna be on the show tomorrow.
Yes, Dom Ricci is going to be
Okay.
live, and I believe Ragu going to join him too. So a little 2-for-1 action tomorrow, I should say.
Yeah, but of course, Dom's the man. Steak dinner was good. Everything was good. It was a good night. It was a long night that night. But your
I
guy
can,
Vic, yeah, I got had a good time. Vic, roll the
yeah,
clip. Uh,
I've
as Beth
heard.
says,
I
yeah,
heard that I talked to him and he said, yeah, from 12 o'clock on this date to the whenever. I just did not remember things, blacked out completely. So yeah, shout out to Victor. I heard.
hell yeah. Shout out to
So
my guy Vic.
it was a good time for Victor indeed. Shout out to the Chicago Cubs who just took a lead here 2-1. But a long day ahead of us, Dabby. As they call you Dabby Cab because I saw Cab in the fucking chat right there. I thought I saw Cab. It's like Cash. But Connor, I've got a long day ahead of us here. And plus, Dabby's on my mind because I'm holding this damn baseball. I'm ready to go now. I'm ready to throw this ball and go 70 plus, hopefully. But we'll see. We'll see about that. We've
You
got
really think you can touch 70 real quick?
I think I can at least touch 60.
I think you might touch 60, yeah. But
I
70,
I think I get to 65 is my goal, my realistic goal.
all right.
And the line is set at 57 right now, Connor.
I think that line is sharp.
Okay,
Whoever
all
set
right,
that line.
all right. I cannot wait. So we'll find out about that very soon. I'll give you guys that little spoiler now. But I've got a pretty full card here today. It's going to be a lot of fun, Connor. Coming off a good day yesterday, cashing Rockies' first 5 full game. We'll talk about my record here shortly. But are you officially to start? Say hey 118.
Hit it.
Let's fucking do it. 118. Say hey 118 officially underway here. And boy, oh boy, do we have a hell of a matchup to start it, Connor. Pirates versus the Baltimore Orioles here. The Baltimore Orioles, who unfortunately are not the same team who we thought they were earlier. Well, who they were in the beginning of the season. Obviously, trades go through there. Deem the Cream Machine Kramer kind of come back down to life a little bit. 6 earned runs, 4 earned runs. I still think he's good. I think he can put up a good start here, but I passed on this game. I didn't even move on. I didn't even consider looking at this game really because I thought there were a bunch of better spots on the card here, and I truly think maybe it's Pirates or pass, but passing for me.
This game was interesting to me too. I was looked through it a ton because I thought the Orioles played really good on that road trip. They played well in Texas. They had the day off though, so it's kind of like they didn't play yesterday. So day off, but back home, is it a little of a flat spot? I'm not so sure. Keller's pitched well as of late, and you talked about Kramer, the Kramer. He has not been good lately. He's been touched up a lot lately. The Pirates, I looked at their team total over 3.5, but this is a tricky spot for the Pirates. After that series with the Brewers, I looked at their team total is -120, right around there over 3.5. I don't know. There could be runs, and now the Orioles are favorites. So, and I just don't love. I like the Pirates. I just don't love it. The first 5, that money, the price is decent. Just the game in the end, I'm going to stay off. I'd lean the Pirates at that plus money, or that team total I was looking at, but I don't want a minus 120. I'd have to go 4, and we know that 4 pushes,
Yeah.
and then I need a 5 to cash. So can they get that off good old Dean? Probably, maybe, but I don't know. I don't trust the lineup. I know they scored some runs the last couple days, 4 or 5, but yeah, I had to let it go with this big card today. Big Friday cards we're on here,
No,
so I
they
gotta.
always are. Yeah, I agree with you. We can on these Fridays we can pass on these shit games. So and it helps us very much on time because right after this show, of course, shout out to the Daily Session, new time. So go watch them right after as well. Washington Nationals, Philadelphia Phillies, next game up. And I just straight tailed my guy TJ here, Connor, because he said it's a gift. Nationals first 5 plus a half here. I got it at minus 105. He got it at even money. He said it was good up until minus 120. He's been, I think it was 8-0 going for 9-0 on when he says it's a gift. And I trust the man. Obviously, we know Josiah Gray's home road splits are a little wacky as well. It's leaning towards him being, or well, I shouldn't say leaning, but definitely towards him better on the road. I don't know what that is either. I find that stuff being very interesting. Maybe it's just opponents. Who knows? Kyle Gibson, a guy that is kind of Jekyll or Hyde, and I find it to be very interesting to say the least. So I ultimately, at the end of the day, I'll side with the guy and TJ and my guy Josiah Gray here. So ultimately, I didn't lay the price, I should say, but I bet on my man here. So first 5 plus a half, minus 105 for me for sure. By the way, look at little DX Filer joining us as well. Shout out to DX Filer. Mario Harris joining us. And I do look like Mario. You're right. It is little Mario vibes, the stash going. Not applicable passing today here. Joe Yurkovich saying Mets minus 126 last night for him. That was a good hit. I believe the Mets won last night. Sorry, the game kind of run together. So shout out to you, my man Joe, for joining us. Paco Healy in here. Champagne and OJ's. Look at that. Nats on the sharp here. Paco liking the under. Tracy liking the Nationals here as well. And making me feel a lot better. And Champagne and OJ also liking the mustache. So I appreciate it as well. Rocco Rogers, Alex Gagnon, thanks for joining us. All you guys. I took the Nationals first 5 plus a half here, Connor. What about you?
Yeah, I don't blame the look there. Now it's not very good. There's a few games today where the show's later on the day where you go and get the numbers. So that half is like minus 115, 120 at some spots. I'm with you though a little bit. Do I want the Phillies at this price with Gibson? I mean, just no way. And they haven't hit Gray. Schwarber's the only guy. He's 4 for 8 with 2 homers. Everyone else hasn't done anything. I think you were talking about it before I left, the road home splits with him. He's done well on the road. He's kind of done shitty at home. His problem's always the walks with me. He's gotten the strikeouts too lately. So I think it's interesting. I still think the Phillies bullpen is trash, even though they've been better a little bit lately. But I don't love the Nats pen either. So I like the first 5. This one I still have questioned, but I have not bet it yet. But I wouldn't even take the half. I'd take the Nats just first 5.
There you go. Mr. MDR, by the way, is like saying that Gray K's, as Sharpie pointed out, are oddly low in the equation. 5.5 minus 150 range, 19% chance of rain possibly in the equation. Wine Time Sports liking the Nats money line, and DX Filer took Nats plus 1.5 and Nats money line as well.
Real quick, I lean over too. I mean, Gray hasn't been really good, especially of late. But this Nats lineup, that game, what was it, 5-4 before it got canceled or whatever yesterday. So yeah, I'm not going to touch the total, but that's it. I'm with you here. Nats, give me a good old Josiah Gray.
All right, beautiful. Nats, next game on our slate, Braves Mets, a great series here, only to be overshadowed by that West Coast series, but fantastic series. Little action on the Braves here. What's funny about the Braves here, Ian Anderson, we talk about him being a gamer. He can be a great starting pitcher for them. When push comes to shove in the postseason, he's probably going back into the bullpen, which is going to be very interesting.
Maybe. Yeah, you might be right. I think he's borderline. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it is very borderline right now. He seems to have these like little trends, or I don't know if you want to call them trends, but He'll go a little bit with a good start, then have just a shit blow up start, and then kind of resets the clock on him until he has another blow up start here. He had that blow up start beginning of the second half, I believe it was. 3 innings, 8 hits, 7 earned runs against the Angels. And then kind of resets it here. He goes 6 innings, 1 hit against the Arizona Diamondbacks. I think he pitches well here today. Braves knot this series up at 1. Taijuan Walker, like Jimmy and Ian were saying earlier in the show today, betting with the bag, a guy they think they're going to fade in the second half of the season, and I tend to agree with it. Same thing happened to him last year. He kind of wore down at the end of the season. Will he be better about that this season? We'll see for sure. I pass on this game personally. I had the first 5 under yesterday, and it blew up in my face immediately. So I'd pass on it, but I'd probably lean towards another under here, honestly.
You know what? I'd actually lean over with these two pitchers. I just don't trust them. You're right, but Walker, he had that start against the Yankees and got through it, with 6 in a third. The other starts 2 against the Marlins, 1 against the Cubs. So he hasn't really faced anybody a good offense. But both these pitchers you talked about, Anderson, the good and the bad, that's been my problem with him. Just taking this guy, I don't know what we're going to get. And that's why I have a problem here. But I do like the Braves at this plus price a little bit. I know the Mets, they came through yesterday. I'm sure a lot of people have the Mets first 5 today as well. But I think there's value with the Braves here. And I like the over a little bit with these two. The only thing that works good for you, like you talked about, Mets 184 off him. Nobody's touched really Anderson too bad in the starts. Braves are at 235 off Walker. So, but he's a guy last year that just got so bad towards the end of the year, and I think he's due for that to come up. Strikeouts are down, 3, 5, 4, the last few, and I talk about those walks. So, lineup looks good. I think the weather's pretty good. I'd lean to that over, and I'm going to take a piece of the Braves here. I just don't know if I want to go full game or first 5.
Beautiful. Mr. MDR right there with you, leaning over and leaning towards the Braves. Mario Harris going Mets run line. Not applicable with me on the pass train. And by the way, Tracy mentioning that there looks like there's going to be some rain in New York. Game might be postponed. It's a real shame. Real shame our boots on the ground reporter is living his life right now in Vegas. It's a real shame.
That shot at dog.
I love it. I love it. Look, he's just a king. He's just a king. I'm going to ask him about it tomorrow and be like, Dom, how many buttons? How many buttons do I need to unbutton to be that cool? How many buttons? Is it like 3 buttons, 4 buttons? I just need to know, I just need to know.
Yeah, he's got 3. He's definitely past 3. I mean, he's almost
Luke
halfway right there.
Yeah. I mean, Luke Voigt, Dom Ricci, I can't tell the difference. If I saw them in the same room, I'd be like, I don't know. It's a Spider-Man meme. So let's talk about Astros, Cleveland Guardians here. This might be a quick cap for both of us here. I completely passed. Connor, I was actually a little surprised that this was not a minus 300. I thought that this would be like the Astros smash spot here again. I guess, coming off that start yesterday from Verlander, maybe they think Guardians bats can come back, bounce back here. And Astros bats have not been good. Well, I should say haven't been good, but have not been like a juggernaut all year. I cashed on a full game under yesterday, thankfully. Thank you to Justin Verlander. Hunter Gaddis, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm not sold on him. What's funny about Hunter Gaddis is that he was in Double-A basically the whole year, gets called up to Triple-A, has 2 starts in Triple-A, and now he's all the way up in the majors. That's fucking quick. That is fast. And I don't know. He's pitched well in his 2 AAA starts, 3 earned runs in 6 innings, 6 Ks, 2 walks, and then 4 innings of 1 hit ball. I mean, I don't know. I ultimately passed. Obviously, everyone knows my relationship with Framber Valdez and how much I enjoy his work. So I passed here and probably lean towards the under here again.
Yeah, their record's wild to the under. Especially like on the road as a favorite like this, the Astros. And shit, it just takes a game. Maybe this stays under. We don't know with Gaddis. I don't know. Maybe it's a 6-0 again. I mean, I'd lean to the under a little bit. Yeah, you talked about it. Double-A, couple AAA starts. He walked a ton in Double-A. Like, I just don't think this kid's ready at all here for the show. And depending on what Astros team comes to play, if they're just kind of half-assing it, if they come to rip, they'll tee off on him. Kind of a fly ball pitcher. Like I said, tons of walks. This is the Astros for me. Valdez has been really good. Even that last start, I had the Mariners in that game. They won 5-4, but they got 3 off him right away. He settled down, and he can have a little trouble with walking people, as you know. But he's got that such great curveball. And we talk about the Guardians do not hit lefties. What are they? Not even 220, something horrible. Only guy has touched him. There's a few of these games we talked about. Schwarber, Ramirez 4 for 7 with a homer. He's really it. Yep. Rosario. There's those 2 or 3 guys that lineup doesn't scare me. So yeah, this is just a total Astros or nothing. Astros run line.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Hunter Gaddis is not like yesterday. I forgot what team it was now, honestly. If it was the Rangers, I think, with Cole, whatever the fuck his name was.
Oh, yeah, the Ragland guy.
Yeah. He had his like AA, AAA numbers or whatever it was, and they looked pretty good. With Hunter here, it's less convincing. I don't know. Yeah. So Michael Overlina liking the team total over 2.5 for the Astros in the first 5. Eric Jones liking the over. Don Play looking for an under. Don, I'll try to find that for you, my man, but we'll see here. Noli, of course, the king of unders. Hopefully he's around as well. Tampa Bay Rays, Detroit Tigers. Next game here. Kluber versus Brian Garcia. One Brian Garcia start appearance this year in the major leagues. At Toronto, 3 2/3, 3 hits, 2 earned runs. Pretty good, not bad, not awful. But I feel like Corey Kluber is going to be on his old man shit today and dominate a young lineup. It always seems to me, I don't know if this is just me looking for this or me saying this more often, but it always seems like these old dudes, like Wainwright, Kluber, Rich Hill, guys like that, they always seem to thrive against those younger teams. Obviously, those younger teams tend to be worse, so it kind of makes sense. But they always seem to have like that old man savvy. They can read swings better, whatever it is, and the young guys just never seem to hit them. I don't know what it is. Maybe that's just my little bias in my head. But I pass on this game, and maybe Corey Kluber does it here again, but I didn't want to pay to see it.
Yeah, nothing. I like the under in this. The 8.5s are gone. Even at 8, I'd be up. The one thing is Garcia. What are we going to get? He went like 3 1/3 with the Jays. I think he gave up a couple. That could be similar here, but both offenses don't scare here. They just don't do it. The Tigers at home, the Rays. Geez, they're going to scrap their way to get into the playoffs because they just don't have the sticks, and they didn't do much, at the deadline. Kluber's 3 straight games. He's gone 6, but he's getting a ton of hits. 4 earned and all those. I know last start he had 10 Ks against Cleveland, but yeah, there's no way I'm on the Rays. I'm shocked that this number is that high with Kluber. He might keep, shut this down, but this is a lean to the Tigers. I almost pulled the trigger. And you know what? With this, maybe the Rays get to Garcia. They don't. This is under or nothing for me. I can't take an over with these 2 teams right now.
Yeah, it's tough. The Tigers have literally the worst offense since the All-Star break. But Joe Yurkovich has a good stat here. Both teams score 4 runs, plus 250. Detroit's 4 runs or more in 12 of their last 15 home games. So very interesting.
They have been hitting better, scoring a little bit of runs lately, compared to earlier in the year. Miggy just owns Kluber too, 26 for 72, 6 homers. A few other guys have homers off Kluber as well, Baez, Scope. So maybe look to them if make sure they're in the lineup. Little action on them.
Yeah, let me tell you, I cannot wait. Some good comments, I should say, coming in from the chat. James S got me thinking about UTSA football already. I'm very excited. Very excited.
It's coming. Your breakdowns will be going over very shortly. Maybe next week.
I was about to say, when's week 1? Because I know it usually starts 1 week before the NFL or some shit like that. But
it's like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Something like that, or 20-some days, 23 days. I forget.
Yeah, I need to purchase my UTSA season tickets. Season tickets.
Are they going to be as good?
Yes, they're gonna win the conference again. I'm gonna lose. My soul's gonna be left in the parking lot again of that stadium many a time, and I cannot wait. Connor, but I'll tell you, my Super Bowl, Connor, you heard me say this a lot of times last year.
You did.
A lot of times. You're gonna hear me say it again. biggest game in program history. I think it's week 2, week 3. I don't remember exactly. Texas, at Texas. Biggest game in program history right there.
Ooh, that is huge.
If we can cover, Connor, I just want to cover. That spread's going to be gigantic. It's going to be like 14, 21 points. If we cover, ooh, boy. And we are. I'm going to bet UTSA outright that game.
Yeah. Hey, Texas has a long way to go. So
week after they play Alabama, too.
Flat spot. I like it. Yeah, no Miggy in the lineup, Jerry. Yeah, I just checked it. Green, Reyes, Baez, Castro.
Yeah, Miggy's the way he's talking today, I thought, oh, no, this is Miggy's last year, huh? So at least he got to his mile markers. That's all I want.
Yeah, he got to it.
So he'll probably retire after this year. That would be my guess because, as you can tell from Ozzie Albies and Ronald Acuna's contracts, Venezuelan people do not care about money that much. Next game on our slate, Dylan Cease versus the Rangers here. Jimmy and Ian both on the White Sox this morning. I don't blame him. How can you not be? Glenn Otto, he's been, I don't know, 4 earned runs, 3 earned runs, last 2 appearances in 5 innings against the Angels and Mariners away from home. Is that good? I mean, I don't know. It depends on your standards of Glenn Otto. I thought those were pretty good starts for him. But I didn't want to bet on him. Is the funny, interesting stat with Glenn Otto. He's got a 7 ERA at home this year and 31 and 2/3 innings pitched. I'm not going to bet against Dylan Cease. I also do not want to bet on the White Sox because they're an absolutely maddening team. Their manager falls asleep during the games. All the jokes. I just can't do it. Both these teams are hitting righties well since the All-Star break. They're 10th and 8th respectively. So maybe an over here, but I didn't want to do it in this ballpark with this pitcher. So pass ultimately.
Yeah, Otto. Yeah, he's been an Otto fade a lot of the year.
Also a very tough name to bet on, It's really tough for me to bet when you like blew it like the kicker. It's really tough for me to bet on you when you've got Glenn Otto fade just right there.
Yeah, when your name's blew it and you're kicking a game-winning field goal or extra, come on.
Yeah, it's fucked.
That's just horrible. But here, I actually like, I don't know. It's just as soon as I say this, he might have, Cease has just been phenomenal. This guy just, whether it's home, road, he's going 6 innings. He gets his Ks. He hasn't given up more than 1 earned run in who knows forever. 11-4 ERA, just at 2. White Sox, I think, bounce back. This team's just maddening, like you talked about. Yesterday, they should have got to that kid right away. They had the bases loaded. They lost that in the first and just kind of didn't get anything else. And they had a stacked, I thought, their lineup righty against that kid yesterday, and they can't get it done. I don't want the Rangers. I don't want the White Sox at this price. I don't blame people for taking him. It seems like with Cease on the mound, that's when the White Sox win. And this team just is such middling. They win a couple, then they'll lose 2 or 3 in a row. Then it seems like they win a couple, and they just lose. But I kind of like the first 5 under 4. I just wish this was a spot where I wish I had the hook because of Otto, because it seems like Cease has just been money, and he's been money for me on some of these unders. So that was a strong lean for me. I just didn't love the 4 here.
Yeah, hey, well, I'm glad. See, this is when I feel good about passing these games. Like when I say like, oh, I'm leaning towards the over, and then you're like, well, I actually like the under. I'm like, all right, well, perfect. This is a great game to pass. This is exactly what I want. So hey, this is where we're working in a good cohesion here, Connor. Now let's talk about this next game. And this next game and this next fucking team obviously gives me fits. They're the most annoying team in baseball. I hate betting on them, and they're probably one of my most bet teams, the Boston Red Sox. I bet on them I bet on them and lost for the first time in a while. I won like 2 straight, and I got confident. I'm like, oh, they're gonna beat the shit out of the Royals. And then Alex Cora had one of his rare manager losses, throwing Darwinson Hernandez for 2 innings just to shit his pants and shit the bed. Was not ideal. Josh Winkowski on the bump here today. And I was going to, shit on Josh Winkowski because he's not had a good year. But, let's not forget that he had the first, and I don't think it was the only, but the first pitcher win for the Red Sox in July. It was like the 24th against the Brewers, his last start. 5 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned runs, a home run, K and a walk. I think they win today. Zach Greinke's home ERA. Obviously, we know what that is. But I have a feeling that it'll be like one of those funny, like he goes and pitches well at New York last time out. All right, well now to write the karmic gods or write the stats, he's gonna go out here and kind of shit the bed at home, especially because I remember betting on the Yankees that day, and of course he just goes out there and dominates them through 5 innings. So I'm taking the Red Sox money line here. I went back and forth with this over. I made it official on betting with the bag, and I don't know if I'm going to make it official on this show right now. Honestly, I've been going back and forth on it a lot, and I have not moved on. And I'm just sitting there staring at it. I've got a -120, which makes it so much harder for me to bet it. And I think this is what's going to keep me off of it. Jimmy can line chop for me, obviously, make things better, more palatable to bet, but -120 is just so tough.
Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with the total, not in this game. But I don't know what to figure out with your Red Sox. I do think this is a cheap price here. I mean, but I have to say, is this team, like you said, they're still have a shot. It's way outside, for like a wild card. I mean, this team is getting close to throwing it in the way they've been playing.
It's
I mean,
super frustrating.
Yeah, so that's why when I see teams like that, don't really want to bet. But I think the price here today is interesting, and I do to the over. I do lean that way with these two pitchers. I'm just not going to get involved in an over in this game. But I'm kind of with you here on the Red Sox.
And I'll tell you, I really think it was a manager loss yesterday. It was just like Alex Cora. I keep saying is one of the better managers in the AL, and he will have because
he's a cheater.
Whoa! Let's settle down, Connor. Whoa,
it's the truth, baby.
Whoa, we don't use that word.
The chat can't agree with me. Somebody, come on. He was the guy in Houston.
In Houston,
bang a little can.
He cheated on Houston. I can accept that one. We served this time in penance, but ultimately, I think yesterday was just a bad choice picking Darwinson Hernandez, and I think he's going to come out and try to win this game like super hard body. Because of what he did yesterday. I think he'll realize that he fucked it up, and he'll throw Garrett Whitlock, Scribner. I can never say his name correctly because SCH names just fuck me up. But that's how it is.
This is a rough looking lineup. A lot of getting some young kids in though, but I think for the Royals.
Mark saying Bobby Witt's out of the lineup too, so making me feel better about the Red Sox. So yeah, Red Sox money line. I'm leaning towards the over. And man, I'm just going to keep battling back and forth about that over. I'm just going to keep battling indeed. By the way, during the show, I asked Jimmy for the run line calculator so I can send it in the chat. I just sent it in there as well because I forgot who it was asking about if he bets the same amount on the run line and the money line. It was I Get Money, and I think you do not. I have not calculated it, but yes, you do whatever you -1 is. You do not, I'm pretty sure. So let's move on to the next game here. Cincinnati versus the Milwaukee Brewers. The Milwaukee Brewers coming off getting swept by my Pittsburgh Pirates. A very funny sweep. Indeed, Eric Lauer coming off of beating the shit out of my Red Sox. 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 4 Ks, 3 walks there. Robert Duggard, I am not going to put my money anywhere near this fucking guy. He's been in the majors this year, went down, coming back up. I don't know. We'll see. His last start in AAA was good. 6 2/3, 3 hits, no earned runs, 4 Ks, no walks. I find it to be an appealing dog spot only just based off the -230 price. Like, I think that's a little excessive for the Brewers. But I truly do not want to bet this game, and we'll keep saying it. There's plenty of games on this card and better games out there to bet.
Yeah, this is one I don't want to touch. I just don't want to back Duggar, but Lauer at this price. No way. You mentioned it every time he gets to the big leagues, whether it was with the Marlins a few years ago, anywhere. Duggar's been, his ERA is horrible. Talk about a guy doesn't K a lot, walks a ton. That's not a good recipe. Brewers should take this, but Brewers at this price all year, I haven't wanted them. I don't want them run line here at home. Maybe you could look team total. The 4.5 though is juice to it. This was a pass for me as well. I mean, you could even look at the Reds. Here's the dog. They'd have to get to Lauer solid, and I want to pull their numbers here. I'll pull it up right now. The Reds versus lefties lately, which I don't know, but
No, for some reason I also didn't write it down, which is weird. I guess I just knew. I'm like, I'm not fucking betting this game.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I mean, I was gonna go ahead and assume they're bad, but I'll pull them up right now with you here. It's kind of sickening how this Reds team is built. Like, they were in it for like 2 years, and then it just all fell apart. And I feel bad for Reds fans, truly do.
Yeah,
Uh,
they're just middling.
but
247. I don't know what their last. Do you have the last 2 weeks?
Yes, against the lefties. By the way, Milwaukee just so bad against lefties. Against lefties, they're
Yeah.
14th, 91 weighted runs created plus since the All Star break, I should say. So, 91 weighted runs created plus is not awful. It's below average, obviously, but you kind of expect all the Cincinnati Reds batting stats to be under average, right? I mean, at least it's close.
Yeah.
So, dog spot, but not for us here. Now, Con, I was thinking about this in my head while you were talking about this, and I think there are 3 really good series. Last night, today, tomorrow, and I'll rank them here. So it's for the casual baseball fans. You've got Dodgers, Padres, obviously everything you need for a casual. And you've got the baseball fans that love Mets, Braves. And for the fucking diehard right here injected into your vein baseball fans, you've got Toronto Blue Jays versus the Minnesota Twins. Jose Barrios, Tyler Mahle, making his debut on his new squad. I think this was the toughest game to cap on the card because I don't know what I'm getting from Tyler Mahle at all here. I don't.
What about Jose? I mean,
Exactly, a
your guy.
7 ERA on the road, but now he's back at his own stomping grounds where he has a pretty good track record.
Exactly, and they haven't hit him really at all.
It's
186.
So it made it very tough for me here. I thought this was the toughest game, and I'm ultimately going to back the Blue Jays, Barrios, and I'm going to trust him going back his old stomping grounds. I bet it at a -1. That's why also we have that little -1 calculator. Shout out to Ron Crawford and Jimmy for sending it to me right now. But the -1 was at +106. You can take the money line at -125. I decided to take the -1 just to save me some juice there at the end of the day. But I think this is going to be a very, very fun matchup, and it's one of those games where I do not know at all what I'm going to get from Tyler Mahle, and truly I could get would I be surprised if he went 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs like he did last time against the Orioles? No. Would I be surprised if he went 3 innings and gave up 6 earned runs? Also no. The same can be said about Jose Barrios too. So I think volatility-wise, I'm leaning towards the over. And side-wise, I took the Blue Jays -1 at +106.
Real quick to touch on someone that last game, I don't blame it a little bit. Could be a sneaky to that game to the under. All the public tickets are on the over, but the bigger money, 65%, is on that under in the Brewers. It is 9. It's about Duggar. I don't know. If he can go out and deal, look at the first 5 under, but I'm not so sure. The same thing with Jose here, Mahle. I don't know. The right away you can tell kind of if they're going or not. These are not sometimes first inning pitchers. They just look so bad. Or if they're humming and he's humming that curveball, he's just locked in. And you talked about he's dominating when he's come back here. These Twins. I don't want the Jays though. I just don't want them as favorites on the road at this price. I do think the Jays sticks could get to Mahle here. It'll be interesting. First start here in Minnesota. So maybe a Jays team total. In the end, this game was a pass. This was too much of a wash. I kind of wanted to get on with the Twins here, but I'm going to stay off.
Yeah, I think it was a tough game. It's just super tough. I took that -1 earlier today, and it'll be a lot of fun to watch this game. It's kind of like my last stand with Jose Barrios, I guess. Like, I've been very anti-Jose Barrios, and I'm going to bet him here, and I think he really is the pivot for this team. Like,
he's got to be huge. You know what? His ball, like I said, the movement looks so good when he's rolling. And when he's off, it just everything hangs. It just looks like he's in slow-mo out there, and he just gets ripped. The fastball just stays up. So he's always interesting to me, because he's got good stuff, obviously. But man, lately with him, I don't want to bet on him. That's just it.
No, I agree with you. And I was hoping that the Blue Jays would get another starter, but they believe.
I think they were one of the worst at the deadline, real quick. Talk about losers. I mean, they got Whit Merrifield. I know they got some help in the pen with bats, but I think that was a dud there for the Jays.
Yeah, I thought they could. If they added like, I don't know, like Rodon would have been like a high priced, obviously like rental type player, but like
Yeah.
they get Rodon, that makes them a lot more scary. And he's now just going to enjoy his 22 million or whatever it is in the Bay. But yeah, no, I was disappointed. I still think this team can beat the Yankees in the playoffs. Truthfully, but it'll be a lot of fun to watch, especially with this new playoff format. It's going to be extremely interesting. Going to test the pitching depths like we have not seen before. Next game, Yankees versus the Cardinals. Speaking of those Yankees, another team I thought lost to play at the trade deadline. Truthfully, they trade Jordan Montgomery to this Cardinals team for Harrison Bader, and Harrison Bader can't play until September. So I was like, all right, whatever. That's interesting. It seems like, I mean, I obviously was not a Jordan Montgomery guy. I thought he was easily one of their worst pitchers in the rotation. It's him and Garrett Cole leading the league for being shitty on their rotation. And I don't know, just to bring anyone to replace him. You know, you heard the Pablo Lopez rumors. I would have been crestfallen if that happened. I would have been, I mean, Connor, my close personal friend, Pablo Lopez, going to the Yankees would just be a killer for me, a killer. But I ultimately, guys, got my wish. Nothing happened for them. Nestor Cortez on the bump here today. If you guys watched the show, you guys will know I'm trying to fade these pitchers in the second half of the season that have like hit their career high in innings pitched and so, and that we've got Gonsolin later today. We'll talk about him later, but Nestor Cortez is that guy. And the thing that I find fascinating is maybe it's not going to affect Nestor because he's not throwing 100. He's not a physical specimen. You know, it feels like he just go out there and sling his like 90 to 85 all day. So I'll be interested to see how that works out for him. I'm still leaning towards fading him here. A pretty good plus money on the Cardinals, but Dakota Hudson, not a guy I trust really, and ultimately I had to pass on this game.
Yeah, Hudson. I mean, this guy, he just doesn't strike out anybody. I think he's gotten by too. Like his record for what it is solid. I mean, he's regularly like 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, 3 walks. They barrel him up. I kind of like the over in this game. I didn't take it. I think Cortez, his home split and road splits are pretty bearing. Like on the road, he's gotten hit a lot. At home, he's been way better. And I think he's a guy that wear down. These guys just haven't thrown this many innings. So maybe start looking this early. We talk about the Cardinals. I still can't get over the 271 off lefties. And it's, Goldschmidt, Arenado, they got to get it done. And I think they will. I like the Cards kind of as dog spot. And I tackled your first 5 full game. Someone wrote they score runs late, but their pen scares the shit out of me. That Cardinals bullpen has in so many games this year. So I like the Cards. I kind of like this team total. The 3.5, I can get a -105. I see -110, 115.
That's pretty good. I like that too.
I think they could get 4 off Cortez, and I think Hudson could get touched here by the Yankees. The line's interesting. Do you think this was low, spot on with the Yankees here? I thought it could have been a little higher.
Really?
Maybe, yeah.
Like -175?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I like the dog. No, I'm just saying and the Yankees, I think they'll lose, down the stretch. They got it locked up. I mean, they have nothing to play for.
Yeah, but they always do this shit.
And they should watch these guys' innings. Watch maybe not this start, but they might only start going like Cortez 4 innings, so you can save him. They want the playoffs. Like you talked about, Jose, this team keeps failing in the playoffs, especially the Astros. So they need to come with all guns blazing there. So, yeah, watch the Yankees. Big numbers. Dogs the rest of the year. Same thing with the Dodgers. You'll see it. They're going to be -300. So look for the Dogs. So Cardinals are nothing here, and I might roll team total.
I like your looks on the Cardinals here. I like that team total. I also do like the over. People in chat mentioning that Cardinals against lefties since the All-Star break, by the way, the very best. Only 61 plate appearances, but a 205 weighted runs created plus. So Will that number come down? Obviously, but are they still going to get their licks in? I think so. So over in
Yeah.
this game. So like that as well. I might make that official here by the end of the show. But let's move on to Colorado Rockies, Arizona Diamondbacks. Bum fight. NL West, just pure bum fight. No thank you on any part of this game. Madison Bumgarner, bleh. Herman Marquez, no thanks. Ultimate pass game, just bum fight, no thanks.
Yeah, this is a bum fight. For how well the Rockies hit lefties. But this is career of Bumgarner, so you got to take it. This is Rockies, even though the problem is the road. They had the big win yesterday. Just kind of seems like a shitty spot for him. But I don't want Arizona here. But I think there could be runs in this one. I stayed off. I wanted nothing to do with it. But when I see a lefty on the mound, even in Bumgarner with the Rockies, I like them here. I mean, you could look at team total or even their plus money. So this is Rockies or pass for me. I'm going to pass though.
No, well, I'm glad we are passing on this together. You know what, Connor? I'm going to, after thinking about it, I'm going to move on it officially, the over in that last game. Over minus 105 for me in that game. Officially just put it in. So there we go. Lovely. I'm excited for that game now even more. All right, so let's move on because, like I said, I guess I have to move at a little bit more brisk pace now because I've got the daily sesh coming right behind me now. So shout out to them. Go watch their show right after. A lot of, you get everything there. You get the funny laughs, haha, the videos, the great capping, and maybe you get some tales from Vegas again too. So let's move on to this Angels Mariners spot. When I first started capping this game, doing it before looking at the lines, I was like, oh, this is a definite Robbie Ray comes back and pitches well because it just he gets owned by the Astros. Like that's why they traded for Luis Castillo. That's easily one of the reasons why they traded him because Logan Gilbert may not get owned by the Astros, but the Astros have figured him out pretty well. Robbie Reyes gets crushed by the Astros every time. So they need someone they can throw it confidently against the Astros. Luis Castillo. Do I think that this is I don't know. This is the fucked up part about this game is at minus 195. It's just I will not bet Robbie Ray at minus 195. Just never. He's not good enough to be that price. And Patrick Sandoval is a competent enough pitcher where I could see the plus 160 and I'd be like, maybe, but the bats again are just so brutal. And ultimately just another pass game here.
Yeah, up and down. Robbie Ray, the real killer though with him, I thought he's turning around really good lately, and he ran into the Astros a couple times and got just lit the hell up. They own his ass. And Sandoval's starting to slip. These last 5 starts, you can start to see it. The walks are there. At Seattle, 2 starts, 6 and 5 innings, 1 at home, 1 on the road. Pretty good this year. They hit 290 off him career. Some of those righties I always like France and them. But look at the number. It's too much here. And then their team total isn't good enough. This number's low at 7. This was a pass for me. I mean, can this get over yet? Angels can't hit lefties. I mean, They can't hit nothing. They lost 8-7, hit 7 solo jacks yesterday. I mean, what the hell? Wow.
It's very
unbelievable.
Angels. Extremely Angels. I get money. I do not think their psyche is, damaged with the Ohtani talks yet. That'll come next year. But yeah, it's just the psyche is just damaged because they're just bad. They were so good to begin the season, and now it's just no one wants to be there anymore. So ultimately, another pass game for me here. Don Play for asking about that under, and I forgot to mention it. The only under that it seems like I'd look at in this game was Nationals Phillies. That'd be my only under that I'm looking at. Connor, did you have one off the top of your head real quick?
Well, yeah, I didn't move. There was the, Rays Tigers, but it moved to 8, and all the money's on that under too. That's so everywhere. The tickets, all the big bets are on the under. My sneaky other one was the Sox Rangers, but it's with auto. I wanted that 4.5. It's 4. I mean, at minus 105, I was leaning in that one.
Okay, beautiful. There you go. There you go, Don. Play. Hope you find something from that. Thank you, Connor. Let's talk about your squad. Last game here, the best game, the game of the night, and it's going to continue to be the game of the night, however many times it's played. Obviously, I think this play was kind of like maybe this is Squaresville, but over 8.5 was my play here, -110 for me. Gonsolin, a pitcher that I have been fading the second half. He's given up runs. It's been working out okay. So I think it's going to happen here again today. His home ERA is obviously like ridiculous. It's truly ridiculous, but he's already eclipsed that career high, and I think it's going to be an interesting game in a second half for him, to say the least. Sean Manaea, again, no one really feels confident about betting on Sean Manaea, really. That no-hitter really did wonders for Sean Manaea, because he is just average right now, just like bang on, like average lefty. He'll blow up every once in a while. He'll have a good start here and there. And the Dodgers against lefties, let's double check here. Since the All-Star break, they're fifth, 158 weighted runs created plus.
They've been better lately, yeah.
Yeah, and I'll take the over with this Padres lineup. I don't really feel like their lineup or their stats really reflect what they are, but they're fourth against righties, 128 weighted runs created plus. Since the All-Star break, obviously it's been 2 games now with Juan Soto. This is going to be the third, so obviously a little sample size with him in it. So I'll still take the over here. And if this is a square play and it loses, then it loses, because it's just going to be a very fun game to watch, to say the least.
Yeah, shout out Nasty 8. Yeah, Red Sox smash. We're
on it.
Jose's on him.
We're on it. Let's go, Nate. We're on it.
Oh, shit. Jose, Red Sox. This game, yeah, is interesting. It seems the perfect hitting weather. I mean, everyone just thinks this game will get over. I talked about Gonsolin before, that start before the All-Star game, and nothing, it is the All-Star game, but he didn't look good there. And obviously, he's the one who gave up the runs. People put it off. Yeah, it's just the All-Star game, but I just think the more innings this guy goes, he's gone about this before in his career, but he's going to start going more and more. They're going to need him. Kershaw out again with the back or his hip, whatever the hell. Dodgers didn't get anybody. They're just hoping May comes back and Buehler come back, basically help.
Which is a gamble. That's what
I mean.
The same thing. He said there's going to be 6 pitchers coming back in September, and I was like, I don't know, man. That's a fucking gamble to 6 pitchers to come back off of injury. I know the Dodgers are probably leading in everything. They've got all the best medicine, whatever, but I don't know. Like, I'm not counting on Dustin May to be like a postseason starter for the Dodgers. Is he going to start 3rd games for the Dodgers? Man,
I don't know if he's ready to do that, or he's got to be a guy out of the pen. That's going to be interesting to see how he.
And I love
how well
Dustin
he does.
May. He's honestly one of my favorite pitchers in baseball. You can shout out to Preston, and he hates him because I think it was like his debut, and I bet on him, and he was there in Vegas, and he bet on him too, and he gets smoked with like a line drive as well. So I have my doubts about the Dodgers. I've had them all year. I think starting pitching is going to be their downfall, and then they're going to go out there and going to throw $500,000 to Jacob deGrom or something like that. So who knows what's going to happen? But I like the over here tonight.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. So I don't blame Manaea. Just seems like that guy gives up. He's good for 3.
Yep.
At least. Like, to me, he goes 5, and he at least gives up 3. Some Dodgers rip him. Mookie Betts, few others. Even Bellinger's 3 for 9 with 2 homers, which is going to be interesting to see him play with Gallo there. I don't know. 2 guys that just swing and miss.
The same human being. It's just the only difference between Cody Bellinger and Joey Gallo is an MVP, and one smokes a lot of weed. That's the only. Those are the 2 things that make Cody Bellinger, and Joey Gallo this weirdo that just swings and misses. So I agree with you 100% there. Even the swings, when you think about the swings, it's just those long looping like uppercut like swinging. I can just picture it so perfectly, them striking out.
But with Gonsolin, I just don't want him here in this spot. He's looked rough, and then he came right out of the break and got hit. And I had that weird we talked about it all year. I'm like, he's going to start, where is this going to happen? And maybe back at home, he's had some success. I think he's only had 1 start. But that was at home against Padres. Different team, different lineup.
Exactly.
So
It's tough.
obviously. But it should be very packed, like a playoff, not playoff atmosphere, but I mean, it should be really
It's going to
banging
be
here.
the same atmosphere that was in San Diego. Is going to be the same thing in Los Angeles here. I think it is going to be an electric atmosphere, to say the
I do as
least.
well, and I'm going to watch. I think there's value with the Padres, at this price.
Connor, are these ticket prices outrageous now?
Oh, for this game, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I mean, I
let's say
didn't
just for
look
I was
today.
about to say for any
Oh, regular
Padres.
games, yeah. Dodger
Oh,
games, yeah.
well, yeah, let's say Padres, Dodgers in general now. I was gonna say these ticket prices are gonna be pretty ridiculous now. So, oh boy, oh boy. By the way,
This
shout out to
is
Kyle
interesting.
Hillian. Kyle Hillian
Yeah.
has $1,200 on the Boston Red Leggings today. So shout out to him.
Let's go. I love it. Yeah, so I don't know. I think the Dodgers get to, they come back home after San Francisco, the sweep. San Diego just up the road after losing. Yeah, it'll be interesting, that lineup with Soto, Machado. I mean, hey, I'm going to watch this one. So this one I'm not getting involved with. But I didn't blame it. I think there is value a little bit with the Padres. Yeah, and I don't know about that total. It seems like a little bit the over is getting chatted a lot about this baseball game. And I don't know. It is hitting weather. Nice and hot there in LA. It's blowing a little out, not a ton, but night game in LA. Who knows? There could be 12 runs tonight.
No, I'm feeling the same thing you are in that respect, Connor. I feel like, and I'm driving this bus too. I feels like I see a lot of people on this over. I'm not seeing anyone saying this under, and it's still 8.5.
Yeah,
so I'm like,
I know.
But I'll tell you this, Connor. I'm also going to take Padres money line in this game as well. I'm taking Padres money line, and I took the over 8.5 in this game. I think the Padres come out. I should say Sharpie said yesterday that he could see that the Padres could be looking ahead to this game, and that's part of the reason why I took the Rockies first 5 full game. Shout out to him. They were looking ahead to it. How about they make it worth it and they look ahead and get the dub here? I think that there's a whole, maybe there's a galvanizing spirit about going in there. It's the first time. Juan Soto's 23, but he's a fucking good ass leader already, and I can see him getting the boys ready to go.
Yeah, and real quick, the last couple of years since the downfall, the Padres' second half last year, Dodgers have owned them. Remember I mentioned they hadn't won in Dodger Stadium in 15 games? They did. Finally, that was earlier in the year. So, they're pissed off, because they're down below. And Dodgers are in first place. So, they want to come kicking.
By the way, shout out to Dominique Walker as well. Yes, I am fading the Dodgers. That's the Giants series as well. I was wanting to fade the Giants today too, but where are they? Who knows? It's going to be looking fun. Going to be looking like a fun matchup, to say the least here, Connor. Let's recap our plays here. Ben Church will recap all of our plays, and even the one on the Rockies game, which I don't think any of us had anything. I think we both passed.
I passed, but Rockies, if I had with a lefty and Bumgarner, give me them. Just the road, everything that plays into it. With all these games, I stayed off, and I could only be on runs in that game. Marquez, in that game like that with those pens, over nothing.
Beautiful. By the way, Victor, to answer your soccer question, I believe there was a soccer show earlier today. I truly have no idea.
Check it out. Yeah.
I don't have any other details about it besides that it was live today, and it has Matt Lawrence on there, old friend of Say Hey Play, or I should say Pub Sports Radio in general. So, all right, let's recap these plays here, Connor. I've got a couple of them. One show edition, being the over in the Yankees Cardinals game, over 8.5 at -105 here. But the rest of the plays I've locked in, tweet them out, all that good jazz. Red Sox money line -115, Nationals first 5 plus a half -105. Shout out to TJ. That was his gift play of the day. Hopefully it goes to 9-0 here today. Dodgers, Padres over 8.5, and Padres money line at +134. It's actually at +137 now too, which is very interesting. Very interesting, obviously. And I took the Toronto Blue Jays -1 at +106. I will put the calculator as well. And yeah, so there's -1 calculator if you guys need it. Connor, what do you need, or what do you have? Sorry.
Yeah, I mentioned it. it's now 8. It's just a lean. I can't give it out now. But the Rays, Tigers under. But these I'm on the Red Sox. I might even take a little run line. Red Sox. Get a little plus 160 with it. Braves. I'm gonna go full game there, plus 115. And I do like the over. I know a lot of people like it. That's the only way I look in that game. Cards team total 3.5 minus 105. And that's it. I think I'm gonna stay off Sox, Rangers, first 5 under 4. I'm going to be off that game. And Astros run line. I don't hate it. Price isn't great. I think you get minus 110, minus 105. I think they win there. That is it.
Beautiful. Connor Mack, thank you so much. And by the way, I am doing a Say Hey parlay every show, trying to, it's a two-prong.
Oh, my God.
It's a two-prong
thing.
Good
with this?
It's a two-pronged thing. It is, one, showing people that parlays are you should not do parlays. First of all, just showing people that parlays are exceedingly hard. Because, Connor, I still have not hit one. And I've been doing
that was since last week I saw you then.
Yeah.
Every day.
Oh, yeah. No, I still have not hit one. Luckily for me, I'm doing well enough on the other aspects and other picks and making it at least palatable. But yeah, no, guys, again, I'll keep saying it, but people love parlays, Connor. You got to admit that. People love parlays. Parlays are fucking hard to hit, and you should not bet them. But we give out a Say Hey parlay, and the Say Hey parlay today was given out. It's a friends and family parlay, actually. Me, Bobano, and Jimmy all put one play into this. We're doing this on Fridays. Jimmy also did not like it either. It was very funny because we did not hit one on that one either. We're like 0-3, and I was like, we got to keep doing it. It's friends and family. We just got to keep riding it. But it's White Sox minus a half, first 5, the over in the Padres-Dodgers game, and Red Sox money line were all our 3 plays there. You combine them together, get a 521 parlay there. So little 3-legger. How about we hit one? Please? Come on.
Yeah. You guys need one.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. So
you didn't want to put the Nats in that parlay?
I do not want to put the Nats in that parlay. Because, Connor, I have tried to do 2-leg parlays and 3-leg parlays, and they just never hit. I just never hit them. I'm not hitting any of them. So it's parlays. Hey, they're tough to do. Who would have thought?
Yeah, they are. Stay away. Do it at your own discretion. I mean, hey, like I always say, I don't get on anyone's hustle. Whatever makes you cash.
Yes, for sure. And by the way, shout out to Jeff, who dominates parlays as well, and it makes me think like, damn, he hits these fucking giant soccer parlays all the time.
Yeah, do his soccer plays, his parlays, because he those games he kills it on them, and some of them are big money prices, but he puts them all together, 3-4 together.
Yeah, he hits them.
Cash is big.
It's pretty great. All right, well, I appreciate everyone for joining us. As always, a lively chat today. The daily sesh actually about to start right fucking now, so we're gonna end the show right now. Go hop over there. It's going to be a lot of fun. Shout out to Dutch. Shout out to Cab. Shout out to you, Connor, for joining us. When's the next time you're going to be on the Pub Sports Radio airways, and where can the people find you?
Just here, Pub Sports Radio. I talked about next week. We will have, golf is settling down. There'll be the championship, and college football is on its way, and the NFL for that part. But we'll start doing some videos, some previews, and win totals that we like on all the conferences. But, yeah, nothing tomorrow. I'll probably be there. I want to meet up with Dami. I got him up after your show, that early in the morning. But usually I join Sharpie Sunday. I'll be with him, Walking Dead. It's Sunday Night Baseball.
Beautiful. Thanks so much for joining me, Connor. Shout out to Sharpie and the Walking Dead. Shout out to the Daily Sesh starting right now. Go watch it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Say hey on social media. Yes, it's time. You guys, this was the work here. You guys, you come here, maybe do the work. You get the grind. You get the pen and paper out. The Daily Sesh, you kick back, you hang out, you relax, you spark one, and you enjoy the show. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Say hey to us on social media. Follow me on Twitter at Jose Bouquett. You can see all the plays there and all my just general nonsense on Twitter. It'll be a lot of fun, and it'll be a lot of fun tomorrow morning, I should say, with Dami Gun Ricci joining us live from Vegas. Maybe a little big ragu sprinkled in there as well. So a lot of fun, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow morning.